thereof. And the Frontline Security Grabel listed mare's hurdle over 2¼ miles, and it's Heaven Help Us showing in the lead from Queen's Brook. As Heaven Help Us took the first flight just over the length in front of Queen's Brook and Rebel Early, a couple of lengths to Copper Nation and Bonark. Loudest Whisper next, break of a few lengths to Got the Nod, and last of all is Getaway Queen. Turning out of the far side, heading for the second flight, and it's Heaven Help Us, tracked by Queen's Brook. Two mares with a bit of history between them. In third place is Rebel Early and then Copper Nation as they clear the second flight. Heaven Help Us, Queen's Brook, got 3 lengths in front of Copper Nation, who moves after the 2 in third. Then Rebel Early and Bonark, Loudest Whisper, Got the Nod and Getaway Queen as they swing into flights 3 and 4. Heaven Help Us and Danny Mullins making the running from Queen's Brook. Jack Kennedy. In third is Copper Nation and JJ Slevin, and fourth is Rebel Early. The mount of Sam Ewing, who made a mistake, lost fourth as a consequence to Bonark and Sean O'Keefe. The first 5 well clear of Loudest Whisper, Got the Nod and Getaway Queen. Continuing their progress in between flights 3 and 4, Heaven Help Us, tracked by Queen's Brook and Copper Nation, a little bit closer in third, and then Bonark, who's moved on ahead of Rebel Early. And they're well clear from Loudest Whisper, Got the Nod and Getaway Queen. Heading up to the top of the track in the Frontline Security Grabel Mare's Hurdle. Listed Mare's Hurdle, Heaven Help Us has increased her advantage to 2 to 3 lengths over Queen's Brook, white, green and red. And third is Copper Nation, then Bonark and Rebel Early as they go downhill. And stringing out the field of 8 mares is Heaven Help Us. From Queen's Brook, Copper Nation, Bonark, Rebel Early, Loudest Whisper. Getaway Queen relegates Got the Nod to be last of the 8. Heading into the back straight, almost at the halfway stage. No changes up front. Heaven Help Us leads Queen's Brook. Going on 6-7 lengths clear of in third place Copper Nation, and then Bonark. Rebel Early, Getaway Queen has picked off one more. Loudest Whisper with the back marker, Got the Nod. In single file, heading to the 5th last flight, one of 2 in the back straight. Heaven Help Us, stalked by Queen's Brook, couple of lengths between them. Going further and further away from Copper Nation, and then Bonark, Rebel Early. Getaway Queen is 2 behind Loudest Whisper and Got the Nod. The flight at their point of departure. Heaven Help Us over from Queen's Brook. A remote third is Copper Nation, and then Bonark and Rebel Early. Getaway Queen, Got the Nod and Loudest Whisper. Turning with just over 5 furlongs to go and 3 flights to jump. Heaven Help Us, pegged back by Queen's Brook, who's now within 3/4 of a length. 15 in front of the third running Copper Nation as they face the third last flight. Heaven Help Us, Danny Mullins, joined by Queen's Brook and Jack Kennedy. They're in the air together. Slicker jump came from Queen's Brook, who now moves on from Heaven Help Us. In third place, some way back, is Copper Nation, the second last. Queen's Brook, Heaven Help Us hit it hard. Running the home turn, and it's Queen's Brook opening up a couple of lengths advantage with 3 furlongs to race and 1 flight to jump. It's Queen's Brook pressing ahead of Heaven Help Us as the market pairing come further and further away from in third place Copper Nation. Straightening for the final flight in the Frontline Security Grabel Mare's Hurdle, and it is Queen's Brook in front and opening up from Heaven Help Us and Copper Nation on the run to the final flight, and it's Queen's Brook and Jack Kennedy by 4 lengths at the last. Queen's Brook over well from Heaven Help Us. Second and third is Copper Nation, 150 yards left to go. It's Queen's Brook surprisingly beaten on return. It's a reinvigorated Queen's Brook this time in the Frontline Security Grabel Mare's Hurdle, beating Heaven Help Us and Copper Nation. Double scores for Jack Kennedy and Gordon Elliott.
Jack, overall pleased by Queen's Brook today, different mare.
Yeah, very happy. She came on a lot from the run in Limerick the last day, but I'd say there's plenty more of improvement in her again, to be honest. Yeah.
What sort of season do you think she could have then, based on what you're saying there? The best yet to come, maybe?
Yeah. I'd say she kind of needs runs to get her fit. She's hard to get fit at home. She likes to take it easy a little bit, but
Say nothing, Jack.
yeah, but no, running away there now will keep her tipping away. So delighted with her. Yeah.
The horse and the maiden. Did you think you were in trouble turning in, and in the end, to his credit, has actually won really well?
Yeah, Davy loomed up outside me. I thought for a few seconds I was probably in a bit of bother, alright, but when we straightened up and I got a couple of belts into him, he picked up well and galloped well to the line. Yeah,
Real staying type, is
yeah, he probably wouldn't mind a bit more of a dig in the ground as well. So yeah, good performance.
Chance of a treble later on with Jungle Pros. You glad you didn't have a choice to make today?
Yeah. I was kicking myself last day, but yeah, sure. Look, she's going up plenty the whole time, so I'm sure the handicapper will get a hold of her at some stage, but hopefully we'll try and get one more out of her today. Anyway.
Well there, well
yeah,
done.
thanks.
Subscribe to Racing TV's YouTube channel now to watch more great races like this.